They're the secrets of ancient Egypt, which for thousands of years lay submerged beneath the Mediterranean. The treasures belong to two sunken cities.
Some of history's most extraordinary creations reveal a level of precision and planning that feels far ahead of their time. From carefully channeled waterways to ingeniously designed temples, these feats of engineering show a civilization that mastered both technology and technique. Researchers have long been amazed by the mathematical knowledge encoded into the Great Pyramid. Its measurements, proportions, and even its placement continue to intrigue Egyptologists. In this exploration of 20 remarkable discoveries, we begin with astonishing ancient innovations, including the pre-Egyptian hydraulic system uncovered at the Temple of Edfu that left archaeologists speechless. Across the ancient world, these systems transformed stone, water, and space with breathtaking skill, reminding us that humanity's greatest engineering breakthroughs did not begin in the modern era. 20. The hydraulic lift of Djoser at Saqqara. The step pyramid of Djoser stands not only as Egypt's oldest pyramid, but as the first known structure to incorporate hydraulic technology. Beneath its limestone tiers lies a complex network of channels, basins, and pressure shafts designed to control and lift water. Ancient engineers of the 27th century BC used buoyancy rather than brute force to raise massive stone blocks, floating them upward through a central shaft using carefully controlled water pressure. This method made construction faster and more precise than traditional ramp systems. Archaeological surveys have uncovered water-retaining walls, sealed conduits, and a central lift chamber aligned with the pyramid's core. These were not ceremonial features, but an integrated waterworks, effectively the world's earliest hydraulic elevator. By regulating flow with sluice gates and basins, the builders balanced weight and pressure with extraordinary precision. This system later inspired water-lifting devices throughout the Nile Valley, proving that the step pyramid was not just a tomb, but a triumph of applied engineering centuries ahead of its time. 19. Nubia's flood walls. Hidden along the banks of the Nile lies one of the ancient world's most ambitious flood control systems, stretching nearly 600 miles. Built more than 3,000 years ago, these massive stone structures, known as river groins, transformed one of the world's most unpredictable rivers into a reliable lifeline. Each wall slowed the Nile's current, trapped nutrient-rich silt, and created new farmland without the need for artificial irrigation. Researchers from the British Museum's Amora West project have identified more than 1,300 of these structures between Egypt and Sudan using drones, satellite imagery, and historic aerial photographs. Some groins measure up to 5 meters thick and 200 meters long, monumental works of practical engineering built by ancient Nubians and later maintained by Egyptians. Although many now lie beneath the Aswan Reservoir, their design principles remain effective, with similar structures still being built by Sudanese farmers as recently as the 1970s. These walls demonstrate how ancient communities shaped the Nile itself, controlling floods, sustaining agriculture, and binding Egypt and Nubia through a river engineered by human hands. 18. The water wheels of Fam. Long before the age of machines, Egyptian farmers discovered how to make the desert bloom. In the Fam oasis, the Sakia, an ox-powered wooden water wheel, became one of the most ingenious tools of the ancient world. Developed during the Ptolemaic period around the 4th century BC, these wheels used clay pots or wooden compartments fixed around the rim to lift water from canals and wells. With each slow rotation, water was raised to higher ground, nourishing crops across fertile plains west of the Nile. What made the Sakia remarkable was not just its simplicity, but its endurance. The same design continues to operate in Fam today, its steady creaking echoing thousands of years of uninterrupted use. Entire irrigation systems were built around these wheels, supplying wheat, figs, and palms even during dry seasons. The technology spread across Egypt and into the Mediterranean, influencing later mechanical pumps and lifts. In Fam, the turning wheels remain living proof of how ancient engineering sustained life for over 2 millennia. 17. The Archimedes screw. In the farmlands of Egypt's Nile Delta, farmers once turned a simple wooden handle to operate one of history's most elegant machines. Water rose smoothly through a tilted cylinder in a spiraling motion, flowing upward with each turn. This device, now known as the Archimedes screw, became one of humanity's earliest and most reliable tools for irrigation. Each rotation trapped water between spiral blades and carried it to higher ground, dramatically improving agricultural efficiency. Long before it appeared in Greek writings, versions of this screw were already in use along Egyptian canals, constructed from wood and sealed with clay or pitch. With just 2 workers, tons of water could be lifted in an hour without ropes or buckets. Over centuries, this simple principle inspired mills, drainage systems, and even modern turbines. What began as a quiet Nile invention proved that precision and practicality flourished long before engines or electricity. Innovation has often begun with necessity and with the flow of a river. 16. Osirian pressure chamber system. Long before modern plumbing, ancient Egyptians were already experimenting with advanced water management beneath their temples. At Abydos, behind the temple of Seti, lies the Osirian, a mysterious stone structure that still holds water today. Built deep below ground level, it features massive granite pillars and precisely carved channels that appear designed to control and store water under natural pressure. For centuries, the Osirian was believed to be merely a symbolic tomb of Osiris, but its layout suggests a far more practical purpose. A central basin surrounded by ditches indicates it once functioned as a natural reservoir, collecting rainwater and groundwater for ritual use, domestic needs, and possibly cooling. The walls were carved with remarkable accuracy, allowing water to flow and settle without damaging the stone foundations above. Even now, standing inside the Osirian and seeing the clear water resting silently below reveals that this was not just a monument to the gods, but a living hydraulic system engineered to sustain life. 15. Papyrus paper. Imagine a world where every idea, law, or story had to be carved into stone, until the Egyptians found a smarter solution. Along the fertile Nile, they transformed the papyrus plant into the world's first form of paper. By slicing the stalks, soaking the fibers, and pressing them into thin, crisscross sheets, they created a writing surface that was light, durable, and smooth enough for ink. Papyrus revolutionized record-keeping, allowing Egyptians to document trade, royal decrees, poetry, and prayers. Knowledge became portable, spreading from the Nile to Greece and Rome. Remarkably, some papyrus scrolls preserved in tombs for over 3,000 years are still readable today. Beyond writing, papyrus was also used to build boats, baskets, and rope, demonstrating a civilization that engineered practicality directly from nature. Though parchment and modern paper eventually replaced it, papyrus remains a true ancestor of every page we turn, the first link in humanity's long chain of written memory. 14. The Great Sphinx. Imagine carving an entire monument from a single ridge of rock with no blocks to move and no joints to seal. That is exactly how the ancient Egyptians created the Great Sphinx of Giza. Hewn directly from the limestone bedrock around 2500 BC, this colossal figure stretches 240 feet in length and rises 66 feet high. Every contour of its lion's body and human face was shaped using copper chisels and stone hammers, guided by extraordinary precision. Most archaeologists associate the Sphinx with Pharaoh Khafre, its calm face gazing east toward the rising sun. This alignment was intentional, symbolizing celestial order and royal authority as it guarded the Gizan necropolis. Yet mysteries remain. Weathering patterns along its body suggest prolonged exposure to water or an earlier climate, fueling debate over its true age. Even its missing nose, lost in antiquity, hints at a story partly erased by time. What endures is a monument that fuses art, astronomy, and engineering into a single block of ancient genius. 13. Temple of Kom-Ombo. Built along a bend of the Nile where flooding was common, the Temple of Kom-Ombo stands as a careful balance between design and necessity. Constructed during the Ptolemaic era, its layout is a marvel of symmetry, featuring twin sanctuaries, parallel corridors, and mirrored halls dedicated to different gods. This dual design demanded absolute precision, achieved using simple tools guided by geometry and observations of the stars. The temple's engineers fully understood their environment. Drainage channels were carved into the foundations to control rising Nile waters, and the complex was positioned to reduce erosion during seasonal floods. Massive limestone blocks, some weighing several tons, were transported and fitted with astonishing accuracy. Deep inside the temple, a Nilometer was carved to record water levels, providing vital data for predicting crop yields. The entire site reflects how Egyptian builders seamlessly combined faith with function, creating harmony between landscape, technology, and belief. 12. The unfinished obelisk of Aswan. In the granite quarries of Aswan lies one of Egypt's most revealing engineering relics, the unfinished obelisk. Still attached to the bedrock, it offers a rare first-hand look at how ancient Egyptians shaped their monumental stoneworks. Had it been completed, it would have stood nearly 42 meters tall and weighed over 1,000 tons, making it the largest obelisk ever attempted. Tool marks etched across its surface show how workers used dolerite pounding stones to carve channels and separate the monument from the quarry floor. Every groove recorded the patience, precision, and skill of a civilization that mastered granite long before iron tools existed. When a large crack appeared near the base, construction was abandoned, freezing the obelisk mid-process. This failure, however, became an invaluable window into ancient stone cutting and transport methods, revealing a system of coordinated labor, planning, and engineering foresight that still informs modern understanding of Egypt's monumental achievements. Edfu's hidden hydraulic secret, subscriber pick. Today's subscriber pick raises a fascinating question. Could this colossal machine reveal a lost hydraulic system beneath the Temple of Edfu? Some researchers believe it resembles ancient water-lifting mechanisms that may have helped move enormous stone blocks, hinting at technology far ahead of its time. Others argue it is simply a modern industrial tool with no connection to ancient Egypt. Was this the work of forgotten genius or clever modern replica? The answer remains open, and the debate continues. 11. King Tutankhamun's meteorite dagger. In the Bronze Age, no known tools were believed capable of cutting or forging meteorite iron, until scientists examined an object buried beside King Tutankhamun. Inside his tomb, wrapped next to the young pharaoh's body, lay a perfectly preserved iron dagger crafted more than 3,300 years ago from a meteorite that fell from the sky. Modern X-ray analysis revealed high levels of nickel and cobalt, unmistakable signatures of extraterrestrial origin. Even more astonishing is the craftsmanship. Meteorite iron is harder and more brittle than terrestrial metals, yet the blade's smooth edges, polished surface, and flawless symmetry demonstrate advanced forging and hammering techniques. Its gold handle, crystal pommel, and ornate sheath elevate it further. Beyond its beauty, the dagger proves that Egyptian metalworkers mastered celestial iron long before the Iron Age officially began, turning a fragment of the cosmos into royal craftsmanship. 10. The Dendera light bulb. At the Temple of Ither in Dendera, one of the most controversial and intriguing depictions of ancient Egyptian technology awaits, sparking debate that continues to challenge our understanding of the ancient world. The Dendera light bulb, inscribed on the walls of the Temple of Ither at Dendera, is one of the most debated reliefs in ancient Egyptian history. The carving depicts a bulb-like object that many believe resembles an early form of electric lighting, specifically a Crookes tube. The image shows a snake emerging from a lotus flower, interpreted by some as a filament and socket, with what appears to be a cable leading to a small box that could represent a power source. Nearby, a baboon holding two knives is often viewed as a warning symbol, possibly indicating danger associated with the device. Eric von Daniken, in Chariots of the Gods and in the Eyes of the Sphinx, proposed that this relief depicts an ancient electric light, with a jet pillar acting as an insulator. While mainstream scholars interpret the imagery as symbolic or mythological, the precision of the carvings and their context within one of Egypt's best-preserved temples continue to invite speculation about whether ancient Egyptians possessed technological knowledge far ahead of their time. 9. Serapeum of Saqqara. Deep beneath the sands of Saqqara lies one of Egypt's most baffling underground structures, the Serapeum. This labyrinth contains 24 massive granite sarcophagi, each weighing up to 100 tons and polished with such precision that even modern laser instruments struggle to detect imperfections. Quarried miles away, transported through narrow tunnels, and positioned with perfect alignment, these colossal boxes present a logistical puzzle. Their lids fit so precisely that they form airtight seals, suggesting a level of stoneworking far beyond what is typically attributed to copper tools of the era. Although historians often describe the Serapeum as a burial place for sacred Apis bulls, no remains have ever been found inside the sarcophagi. Instead, the site feels like a demonstration of pure precision engineering, hinting that ancient Egyptian technological capabilities may have been far more advanced than previously believed. 8. The Sabu Disk. Discovered in the tomb of Prince Sabu at Saqqara, the 5,000-year-old Sabu disk looks less like a ceremonial artifact and more like a component of precision machinery. Carved from fragile metamorphic schist, a material so brittle it would challenge even modern tools, The disc features 3 curved lobes and a central hub arranged in perfect symmetry. Its aerodynamic form suggests motion, balance, and rotation rather than ritual symbolism. Engineers studying replicas have noted similarities between its contes and components found in turbines, pumps, or rotary systems designed to move fluids or energy. The mystery lies in how such precision could have been achieved in an era without known metal tools capable of producing it. Whether functional or symbolic, the Sabu disc remains one of the most compelling examples of ancient engineering brilliance, seemingly centuries ahead of its time. 7. Papyrus of the Book of the Dead. Within the vast necropolis of Saqqara, archaeologists uncovered a 52-foot-long papyrus containing one of the most remarkable examples of ancient Egyptian writing technology ever discovered, a complete copy of the Book of the Dead. Found inside the coffin of a man named Amos, this scroll is the first of its kind unearthed at Saqqara in over a century. Written in red and black ink using hieratic script, it serves as a detailed spiritual guide to the afterlife, filled with spells, rituals, and divine instructions. Exceptionally well preserved, the scroll features elaborate illustrations of gods, judgment scenes, and otherworldly trials. Though not the longest version ever found, its condition and proximity to the step pyramid of Dosum make it especially significant. This discovery highlights not only Egypt's religious beliefs but also the extraordinary literary and symbolic sophistication of its writing traditions. 6. The Bent Pyramid at Dasha. Long before the Great Pyramid rose at Giza, Egyptian engineers were already experimenting with bold architectural ideas. The Bent Pyramid, built by Pharaoh Sneferu around 2600 BCE, represents one of the earliest and most daring attempts at true pyramid construction. Its steep lower angle abruptly shifts to a gentler slope midway upward, likely due to cracks and structural stress detected during construction. Rather than abandoning the project, the builders adapted, learning valuable lessons that shaped all future pyramids. Finished with polished Tura limestone, much of which still remains, the pyramid reveals deep knowledge of load distribution, airflow, and stability. Its preserved casing stones offer a rare glimpse into how pyramids originally appeared, showing not failure, but innovation through adaptation. 5. Mortuary Temple of Hatshepsut. Carved into the limestone cliffs of Deir el-Bahari, the mortuary temple of Hatshepsut stands as one of Egypt's most refined engineering achievements. Built nearly 3,500 years ago, the temple merges architecture with nature so seamlessly that its terraces appear to grow out of the mountain itself. Clean geometry, balanced ramps, and perfectly level platforms reveal exceptional mastery of measurement and design. The temple is aligned with the winter solstice sunrise, allowing sunlight to penetrate its inner sanctuaries once a year, a deliberate display of astronomical knowledge. Its tiered design also creates natural cooling through airflow and shade, while mineral-based pigments used in its reliefs were engineered to resist fading for millennia. This is not merely a memorial, but a fully integrated architectural system that continues to influence modern design. 4. Sundials and Merkits. Long before mechanical clocks existed, the ancient Egyptians mastered timekeeping with astonishing precision. A limestone sundial discovered in the Valley of the Kings in 2013 dates to the 13th century BCE, predating Greco-Roman examples by over 1,000 years. Divided into 12 segments with a central gnomon hole, it tracked time accurately from sunrise to sunset. At night, priests used merkits, bronze tools with plumb lines, to observe the stars crossing the sky. These instruments allowed Egyptians to measure night time, hours in aligned temples with true north. Together, sundials and merkits form complete 24-hour timekeeping system, supporting architecture, ritual, and science, and revealing a deep understanding of time and space. 3. The Great Pyramid of Giza. Rising majestically from the Giza Plateau, the Great Pyramid is far more than a royal tomb. Built over 4,500 years ago using more than 2 million limestone blocks, some weighing up to 15 tons, it remains one of the most precise structures ever created. Its base is nearly perfectly square and aligned with extraordinary accuracy to the cardinal directions. Some researchers have even suggested the pyramid may have functioned as a sophisticated energy device, citing its use of conductive granite, insulating limestone, and underground water channels. Whether symbolic or functional, such theories highlight the extraordinary imagination and knowledge of ancient Egyptian engineers. Even without speculative interpretations, the construction of the Great Pyramid alone demonstrates advanced mastery of engineering, astronomy, and logistics. 2. The lost city of Heracleon. Imagine an entire city built between land and sea, its temples and docks floating atop canals and artificial islands. That city was Heracleon, once the great port at the mouth of the Nile Delta. Ancient engineers mastered balance and buoyancy, keeping massive sanctuaries standing on unstable ground for centuries. By the 8th century CE, earthquakes and floods caused the city to sink beneath the waves, leaving only legends behind. In 2000, divers rediscovered Heracleon near Abu Qir Bay, uncovering statues, columns, and ships preserved beneath layers of silt, a frozen moment of ancient engineering genius. 1. The subterranean waterways of Petra. Carved into rose-colored stone, Petra's survival in a desert environment was made possible by one of the most advanced water systems of the ancient world. Over 2,000 years ago, the Nabateans engineered channels, terracotta pipes, tunnels, cisterns, and sediment traps to capture and control every drop of rain. Along the covered canals and tapered clay pipes ran side by side, innovations modern engineers would rediscover centuries later. This system provided running water year-round, sustaining homes, gardens, and baths in an arid landscape. What remains today proves that the Nabateans possessed hydraulic knowledge far beyond their time, reshaping stone and water into one of history's most sophisticated urban systems. These achievements leave us with one lingering question: how did ancient civilizations accomplish such impossible feats without modern tools? Perhaps one day we'll have all the answers. Until then, the mystery continues, and the journey into the deep never truly ends.